I begin this video with a little bit of a sense of trepidation because unlike a lot of my other videos that I upload to this channel, today I don't actually know what's going to happen. I've decided to document the first time I am smelling 4 different perfume samples, and I thought, well, I'm hoping that it's going to be more interesting than it may turn out to be. But I just wanted to start off by saying one of the best things about being a perfume lover, for starters, but I guess more emphasis on the fact that I have a channel that focuses on talking about fragrance and perfume. And so I kind of feel not feel obligated, but I feel like if I'm going to do this, I need to smell as many things as possible. And as I've mentioned before, the more things that you smell, the less chance there is of liking everything that you smell. But one of the exciting things about this is that like 1% chance that you're going to smell something for the first time that you really love. It's like seeing an amazing painting for the first time, or having an amazing Michelin star meal for the first time, or kissing lips for the first time. And it's going to be the same with smell. I live for the excitement of smelling something that moves me like a lot of my favorite perfumes have in the past. So it's not quite, I still get enjoyment out of the perfumes I'm familiar with, but I really love the anticipation or the potential to smell something for the first time and genuinely be excited by it. And I know I'm only smelling 4 fragrances today, but who knows? I might smell something today that I really end up loving, which the idea of that is exciting in of itself. So I've got 4 fragrances, all 4, well, actually 3 I had heard of, and 1 I had not. So I'm going to start off with the one that is basically brand new to me, and I'm sure some of you guys have heard of this. I am going to smell Loewe. I'll tell you what I'm going to smell. So the first one I'm going to smell is Loewe 7. The next one I'm going to smell is from Histoires de Parfum. This is 1826. Then I'm going to smell a Serge Lutens called L'Orpheline, which I'd heard about, but I'd never smelled. So none of these I've ever actually properly smelled. I might have probably the 4th one from Etat Libre d'Orange, Attaquer de Soleil, Le Soleil, is the one that I might have smelled just in passing in a store once, but I have no memory of it. So you're going to get my very first impressions on camera. They might be they might be very nondescript or boring, but let's see if I like any of these. Okay, so the first one I'm going to smell is from Loewe. It's Loewe 7. I have no idea what I'm supposed to smell. I didn't look up the note pyramid before I started shooting, so let's see what comes up on the blotter. Spray from there. This is really unusual, and I honestly don't know what I'm smelling. There is like a sour incense note to me, it seems like, but doesn't really smell like a traditional kind of frankincense note. Maybe sort of getting closer to something like elemi resin, but it is slowly morphing into a kind of more, I guess, familiar frankincense or incense accord. Honestly, I'm going to put one more spray. Honestly, it doesn't smell like, it's very strong. Oh, now I'm getting like a herbal accord over the top of it. Almost like cypress. I'm not loving it, to be honest. It seems quite one-dimensional. I don't know what this is like on skin, and you'll have to just accept that I'm smelling off a strip here. If I like some of these, I might put them on my skin, but it's a bit, it's not moving me a hell of a lot. It's a bit difficult to work out. I can't make out too many individual notes here. It's a weird herbal kind of green woody incense. All right, I'll come back to that one. And the next one I'm going to smell is from Histoires de Parfum. This is 1826, and if I just get the sprayer cap off. I mean, I'm getting some green notes here as well. Almost mentholy. But it feels like there's a kind of clean new leather accord sitting underneath it. This one's a bit more interesting than the Loewe. But again, what I'm smelling on this card is not really exciting me in any way. And I guess this emphasizes the fact that when you're going to test fragrances, it's all very well to do a bunch of testing on blotters, but if you're even just on the fence about something, and you might potentially like it, you always have to test it on your skin. Yeah, okay, this is a little bit more interesting. There's nothing mind-blowing, nothing that's grabbing me by the heartstrings. It is a little bit, I like the fact that it has like a kind of unusual combination of things going on. It doesn't really remind me of anything else, but at the same time, it's kind of a little bit nondescript. I feel sometimes when, in cases like these, is when you almost wish for a bit more strength and projection in a fragrance, when the note combinations are a little bit subtle and you really have to struggle to smell what's going on. And this is where I wish sometimes perfumes like that need a little bit of a push to help you see it in some cases. Okay, I'll come back to that one. The next one I will smell is L'Orpheline from Serge Lutens. Now, I do know that the one thing I know about this fragrance is that it's supposed to be an incense-based perfume as well. But I'm curious to see what Serge Lutens has come up with, because I do generally love that brand. Even if I don't love every perfume I've smelled from them, I find everything they put out interesting at the very least. Ooh. Okay. This is not, so when someone says this is an incense perfume, I immediately get some kind of expectation in my head of how it's supposed to smell like. Now, when I smell this, I'm getting, this is going to come to me, I'm getting some kind of floral coming through here. And to be honest, I'm not getting a hell of a lot of incense. This is actually quite nice. But, you know, if I smelled this without knowing that it's supposed to have incense in it, I would not pick it as an incense perfume. Just better make sure I'm smelling the right thing. Yeah, it's Loewe. Oh, I don't know what I'm... I feel like there is some kind of a sweet amber accord in the base of this as well, but definitely not a strong amber. It's a really delicate perfume, and there is this really beautifully balanced sweetness. And I almost want to say, oh, what is it reminding me of? Like a soapy, it's really reminding me of a really nice familiar soap that I have smelled before. Almost like the geranium in Equipage geranium, but it's a little bit sweeter. All right, this one I'm going to come back to for sure. Okay, so I might end up testing that on skin. And the last one I'm going to try is Attaquer le Soleil. Please excuse my pronunciation. This is also Marquis de Sade. This is Etat Libre d'Orange. Marquis de Sade, not to be confused with Histoires de Parfum, one of my favorite perfumes. Now, I do know that this is supposed to be based around the material of labdanum, and I'm very curious to smell it because it is one of my favorite materials to smell, and a lot of people like this perfume as well, but this is my first time really smelling it properly. Oh, yeah. I mean, there is like this kind of almost charred bitterness to this scent at the beginning. See, I smell this, and I smell more incense in this than I do in L'Orpheline, but it's okay. So when I think about labdanum being showcased in a material, usually it's part of a lot of different amber accords, and I think of things like Le Lion by Chanel, and even Le Couche du Diable by Serge Lutens. There is some similarity with this one here. There's not a lot else going on. It's smoky. It's a little bit unctuous. And like there is a kind of rawness about this as well, and it's not a perfume I would describe as refined, but at the same time wearable. But it's not. This isn't by no means something that you would smell and think that it would please everyone to smell. If you get my drift, it's definitely a mood. But from what I'm smelling in the first couple of minutes, there's not a lot else going on. So if I recall correctly, it's pretty much, I mean, there's probably other materials, but it's really built around showcasing labdanum as a material in this fragrance. And I like it. I like it. But from the four that I've smelled, I think the one that really impressed me was L'Orpheline by Serge Lutens. I'm just going to go back to smell the others. Yeah, Loewe 7 is pleasant, but it's kind of this just, it's, I don't want to say the word generic, but it's a bit of a one-trick pony. The 1826, a little bit more interesting. Yeah, Loewe I really like. It's just a really, I can't pick a different word other than soapy incense. It's really clean. It kind of reminds me a little bit, now it's coming to me, it's reminding me a little bit about, of parts of Prada Amber Pour Intense that I own as well. Something in the base of that. I wonder if there's patchouli in here as well. Okay, so of the four there, at least Loewe has got my attention, and that's definitely one I'm going to add to my rotation to test on skin. But if you want me to do full reviews of any of the four that I've tested tonight in this video, let me know, because obviously things can change once I start wearing them on skin. But I guess I just wanted to give you my very first impression on these perfumes, and just I guess show you that that even just smelling something on a blotter can't tell you a lot, but can also give you the impetus to follow up and do more testing. And at least now I've got my nose on those four. I'm excited by the Serge Lutens, slightly excited by the Marquis de Sade from ELDO. The other two, not so much. So I can put them on the back burner. But if you want reviews of those, I'm happy to go ahead and do them. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. Let me know in the comments what you've been sampling, or even if you have a methodology for testing a bunch of samples, because I'm sure you guys have all got drawers full of samples that you have to get through at some point anyway. And I find I get a bit of anxiety if I see a drawer full of samples. I've got samples that I acquired months and months ago that I've not even sprayed yet. So that's the life of doing fragrance on YouTube, unfortunately, but it's a good life. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.